This is Wine Bros. It's time to uncork another story. When most people think of wine tasting in Napa Valley, they think of iconic tasting rooms, barrels in wine caves, or even the Napa Valley wine train. Here's the thing. Jonah and Sara Beer of Pilcrow Wines? Yeah, they must have missed that memo. You see, after we explored Glassrock Vineyard in Coombsville, and then Archer and Byrd on Mount Veeder, Jonah invited us back to downtown Napa to taste through all of those Pilcrow wines. But he wouldn't tell us exactly where. Jonah, where are you taking us?
To the clubhouse.
Oh, wow.
To the clubhouse.
Look at this. This is not Hertz Rent-A-Car.
I mean, it is for the right price.
One of the things we've learned is that great wine experiences don't always happen where you'd expect. Hidden inside this unassuming warehouse is Napa Valley Car Club.
This is permanent rum springer. We're never going back. Founded by some local guys. Sara and I are founding members of the club. We can come in, we got a tasting room, we can taste some wines in. Of course, you can drive the cars for the right price.
We're the keys.
Exactly.
As if the location wasn't enough of a surprise, Jonah had one more waiting for us.
Sara's in already prepping the wines for us to taste. Yes. And our buddy Ian Cauble popped by. He's going to taste with us too. So it's going to be
Let's do this.
Is this like Master Sommelier?
Yep.
Yes. If you've seen the 2012 movie SOMM, chances are Ian Cauble is a name you're already familiar with.
We're ready to taste some wine, yeah? It's
ready.
been a long day. Let's get to the drinking portion.
I like this part.
Let's do it. Let's do it.
I
Let's
like
do
the
it.
way you think Jonah Beer.
I know. Now, I know that Ian Cauble needs no introduction. Ricky's a big wig in the wine business down in Arizona.
Oh, stop.
I mean, the biggest of wigs is the only way of looking at it. And his brother Scott is definitely the...
Small wig.
Small wig. No wig.
Small wig.
No wig.
Little
earwig. Little earwig. Ian Cauble, Master Sommelier, and a good friend of Sara and I for the longest time. You might recognize him from such films as SOMM and SOMM 2 and SOMM 3. And Ian was one of the very first to help launch and promote Pilcrow back when we started. So, I mean, some of our first vintages and some of the first success that we had was thanks in part to Ian's writing and in part to his promotion and kind of recommendation on our behalf. And so he's just launching his own a new company, the Caubleist.
Yes, sir. My last name with IST at the end. So simple daily offer format. We just kind of shine the spotlight on great producers around the world. And it's about pleasure at the end of the day. So when I find good people that are making a beautiful product, we write a story about them and the history, do a food and wine pairing, and just help people, drink better and live better.
Yes,
Hey,
Yeah,
amen.
right? So we've got the 2022, all four of the Single-Vineyard Pilcrow cabs. Now we've been out to both Glassrock and Coombsville and up to Archer and Byrd on Mount Veeder. Here we're going to get a chance to taste them alongside the two vineyards we didn't get the chance to see. Ghost Block, which is in Yountville. Okay. And Granite Lake, which is up on Howell Mountain. Four fairly disparate parts of the valley with kind of four different unique aspects. And what you've just seen from two, how dramatically different they were physically and in their characteristics. The other two even stretch the imagination further, right?
But that's it. That's the only four wines you have, right?
That's it, man. Four single-vineyard Cabernets, ranging in production from like 100 cases to about 200 cases. And
wow.
that's it.
I also put it in the context of barrels. So 100 cases equals 4 barrels, 1 barrel for 25 cases. So we have between 4 and 8 barrels. So really, the amount of space that's in this room, you could fit all the barrels of Pilcrow's production, for sure.
So you're saying you own 8 barrels?
First of all, it's taken us a lot of savings to get there, man. Like, you know what I mean? We're still maxing out the Capital One cards over here.
Barrels are not cheap.
They're not cheap.
No.
They're not
They
cheap.
are
They're
not cheap.
nasty. So we're going to taste right to left, and we'll start on the far right with Mount Veeder, Archer and Byrd, right? And so this is that cool, cold Mount Veeder-ness, right?
Why Veeder first?
So we're kind of going from lightest and leanest to more ballast and more weight.
Love it.
And I always call the Archer and Byrd the Pilcrowiest of the Pilcrow Cabernets.
I think there just to be a little stamp on the label and it says, start here.
Yeah, start here. Start here.
Absolutely.
But, listen, we talked about it at Chispa, is that, the whole goal of Pilcrow is to climb into that DeLorean with Doc Brown and to go back to 1955, right? And so Pilcrowiest meaning like this is the most old school, and Mount Veeder's very old school, right?
Wine's showing amazing.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Thank you very
Absolutely delicious.
Thank you.
It's like you're picking purple flowers in the forest, kind of like, you're like capturing.
That's why he's the Master Sommelier. We
Yep.
talked about this up in the vineyard, the whole purple florality related to, remember the old sunscreen and the berries analogy?
Yes.
That's it, and that's
part of-
exactly what he's
It's a part of
pulling
why
up.
I moved to Northern California. Like
Yeah.
this cold kind of damp forest in all of the wines. When they're picked properly and you have these beautiful floral tones, when they're picked overripe, you get these raisinated characteristics, and the wine smells more like the inside of a new Lamborghini than it does wine. when they're putting tons of new oak and all this fancy polish and this winemaking versus just letting the terroir show through with, you know, a good influence of oak, and you know, a little bit of salt and pepper is good on a steak. You know, you don't have to freaking dip the whole thing in salt. And you know,
I want to call foul.
Oh.
You lied. You told me this is your first time.
you know,
Not your first time.
yeah, I just got into wine last week. I'm about 25 years in. Yeah.
Wow, that's
It's
impressive.
been a difficult road. I'm just kidding. It's honestly one of the greatest pleasures in life for me. I want cassoulet. I want, you know, good French wines and American.
Right.
You know, I do love American wine.
Yeah.
But to be honest, I really only enjoy drinking about 5 to 10% of it because not all of it's made in the style that I prefer, which has a little bit of tension. It's not the overripe strawberry jam. It's the perfectly ripe strawberry from the farmer's market that is like that perfect taste of strawberry, you know.
Well
and I think
said.
that there's Americans grew up eating, you know, Pop-Tarts and honey nut Cheerios and sweet things. And so as a culture, we like sweet stuff. If you grew up in Greece, for example, you had feta cheese and olives for breakfast, right? So, and I think a lot of the critics in the 2000s and early before that, they started giving 100-point scores to big, dense, rich, sweet, oaky wines that I can't personally drink more than a few ounces of. But if I'm at a steakhouse and like somebody buys one of these wines, like, okay, I'll try to enjoy it for a little bit and then I'll order a martini or something.
Something less alcohol. We're out here kind of doing something that we find to be unique and appropriate. And to me, this Veeder is that kind of energy-rich wine. It's not power. It's in there. The energy's in there.
Potential energy.
Yeah, exactly.
How do you describe things like tension and crunchy and
You know, I think you have to sit and have different wines. Like, you know, if you're talking about music, you're like, this is the Beatles, Rolling Stones, you know, here's Metallica.
wow.
It's kind of hard to describe heavy metal without listening to it, I think.
Great.
Well, one of the other ways we like to kind of try and describe the daylight between the wines is that we anthropomorphize each vineyard. I often pour the wines at events, and women just like, it's really nice way to kind of talk about the wine. For the Mount Veeder, the Archer and Byrd, we say this is our Audrey Hepburn. She's a very, very beautiful woman, but that didn't adorn herself a lot. And we think of that way with the Archer and Byrd, that it is this sort of like, it's a little bit of a leaner version of Cabernet with a lot of prettiness to it.
Yes.
But it isn't trying to fight for your attention in that way. You kind of know that it is.
she knows she bad.
She
She knows she bad. With that delicious Archer and Byrd cab setting the stage for Pilcrow's philosophy, it's time to dive into the rest of the lineup. It's important to remember that Jonah makes these wines basically the same, so the different expressions are the vineyards telling their story. Our goal has never been to tell people what wines to like, but rather to give tools to help people raise their wine game. For example, did you catch that knowledge drop from Ian Cauble? Can you tell the difference between well-made artisanal wine and those made for the Pop-Tart palate? If there's one idea that can change the way you think about wine, it's this. Learn to recognize the difference between wines built to impress a palate and wines made to express a place.
Wine number 2, let's get to Glassrock.
Yeah.
This was we tasted 23 in the vineyard that magically appeared for us. That was awesome. I like that. Kind of what you can kind of see is a little similar vein to the 23, and there's almost a sense of a rockiness. But I'd like to point out, Ian, this one is 12.7% alcohol.
The lowest
Yeah.
alcohol Pilcrow we've ever made.
So what I really love about this wine is it reminds me of Great Bordeaux. You have the left bank, which is more cab dominant. There's a lot of Merlot as well. You have the right bank, Saint-Emilion and Pomerol, which are like more Merlot. But on the left bank, you have villages like Saint-Estèphe, Pauillac, Saint-Julien, and Margaux, and then you have the Grave area that's more famous for Cabernet Sauvignon. Sure. This wine has such this rockiness and this intense kind of like gravelly, almost. If you could think about just breaking up a rock and putting it in your glass, like it's got that intensity. Right. This wine has more of this really deep, you know, almost leather and tobacco and this deep kind of classic Bordeaux character. And I think if I was, tasting this blind, it would be very hard to call this my buddy's backyard. My buddy Elliot owns that property. I mean, this is the wine that's really going to live 50 years.
Yeah.
Wow.
And probably 20 years from now, you're going to blind taste me on it and be like, got you. And I'll be like, well, I already told you I was going to call it Pauillac 20 years ago, remember?
Right. I do believe that once we move out of these two regions and we slide up valley, just to the north edge of the town of Yountville, we're literally right next to the cemetery called Pioneer Cemetery, where The first guy to ever make wine in this valley, George Yount, is interred. Ground zero for the beginning of wine in the Napa Valley. Ghost Block, named because the old legend goes that his ghost still walks the vineyard and watches over the vines. So Ghost Block, Yountville, and just like all 4 wines, guys, these wines are made in the exact same way. We don't do anything different in vinification or aging or any of it. So Yountville, a little bit more richness. There's a little more texture.
Yep.
Sara's got a personality for this one as well. This is.
We call this one our Sophia Loren. Has a little more curves to her.
Yeah.
A little bit, wears a little bit more makeup. It's a little bit more zaftig, I guess. And so,
there you go.
So whereas we like to talk about the Archer and Byrd as the Audrey Hepburn,
Yes.
and the Glassrock as the Betty Davis, we
Ah.
like to talk about the Ghost Block as our Sophia Loren. And so just strong women, beautiful women, but have slightly different personalities. And I think it allows you to kind of think about what the vineyard gives you.
Right.
And as with Pilcrow, we're not trying to make these wines differently. We're just trying to show sight differently. And so this is just what the natural personality that comes out of each of them. This is a vineyard that naturally gives us a little bit more texture to it, a little more curve.
Right.
This wine has just a little bit more upfront joy right when it's first young.
Right.
So
First thing I did is put this in my mouth, and I went to wet it, and the tannins instantly said, "How you doing?"
yeah.
Just being in the vineyard, there's an ease to this vineyard that you don't. The others are much more extreme. Ghost Block just has an ease to it, and we really love it. So Howell Mountain, we're getting to the highest point of the Vaca Range to the east. This is 2,300 feet when we enter, with a drop down to about 2,100 feet. This is feral, wild, in that we drive through a woods to get to it, right? Like there's a bear that lives up there. Her name's Greta. There's mountain lions. There's rattlesnakes all over the place. Everything wants to eat me, and I'm not outrunning anything. So, even with a trank dart in its neck, I'm still not outrunning that bear, right?
Well said, sir.
Exactly, it's not going to work well. But there's like a foresty-ness to it, right? This is like the tennis courts at Roland Garros.
Yeah.
It is pulverized, iron-rich red clay that feels like talcum powder under your feet. And then with every step, there's a poof of white powder. Just like the tennis ball striking the other side of the court. There's these unusual ponderosa pines that shouldn't grow at this elevation. They shouldn't even grow this far from the sea, but they interpret that pulverized clay as sand. It has the same egress to it.
When I say the Archer and Byrd is the Pilcrowiest, definitely the Granite Lake is the mountainiest. This
It is mountain fruit. Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it just naturally gives you that tannin. It's just the nature
Yeah.
of being in that soil, on that mountain, high up. Even though we like to call all of these mountain influenced, the Granite Lake is definitely the mountain Cabernet.
She definitely taller.
The female personality that we connect with Granite Lake, which is Serena Williams, who is a strong, powerful woman who has curves, but great muscle and power and strength to who she is.
Okay, I'm trying to figure out something. I've never had this experience, and maybe it's just me in this room.
It's you. Sorry.
Security! Security! Somebody, this guy snuck in here. That's great. I'm getting this weird little like blood orange thing in the tannin thing. Am I imagining this?
There's some citrus tones. I would agree. So a lot of times with red wine, I completely see that it's like almost like an orange pithy kind of quality on the finish. But,
Right.
Yeah. But yeah, good call.
Ian said I was right.
Ian was making you feel good.
I'm gonna take the dub where I can get it.
Definitely. No one
Take
makes a
it.
brother feel like
Take
a
it.
brother than a brother. You know, I mean, that's just great.
So Ian, subjectively, which one's your jam?
I'm digging Glassrock.
Me too.
I'm digging Glassrock.
I'm Glassrock. What about you, Ricky?
I would say that to me, Ghost Block is my fan.
Yeah.
Go.
Speaking of glasses are empty, Ian, you're traveling. You're taking off tomorrow, I think, right?
Exotic
I'm
places.
leaving on Thursday.
Okay.
I'm going to Japan, Taiwan.
You've got a lot going on.
Nice.
We're so excited for the Caublist and what you're doing.
Thank
Get
you.
back, make that work. We're gonna need to sell you some wine here in a minute.
Well, you know what? Can you hold
Yes.
some Glassrock for me?
Yes.
Because that's going like that.
Love it.
Yeah.
You two I wanted to see if you guys want to join Sara and I at our house. We've got a regular poker game that's been going on for 26 years.
Stop it.
Yeah, so it's $40 buy-in. It's easy peasy stuff. But it's buddies of mine. We've been doing this game forever. We all worked together at Stag's Leap Wine Cellars 20 to 25 years ago.
Wow.
We still get together and do this game. So
My dad will sponsor me.
Oh, Daddy! Oh, hey, you bring $80. You bring
Raise your
no
glass
dollars.
to Daddy.
Yeah.
Cheers.
Oh, that's the name of this segment.
One of the biggest lessons from tasting Pilcrow's lineup is that understanding wine isn't about memorizing tasting notes. It's about recognizing character and expression. Whether you think in terms of famous people, classic cars, or even geology, find the language that helps you describe what's in your glass. Because wine isn't just what you taste, it's about the stories that give your experience meaning. And subsequently, the conversations that happen when you share that experience with someone else. That's the beauty of wine. Every bottle is meant to be shared, and there isn't always one right answer. Speaking of sharing a great bottle, Jonah invited us to one of Napa Valley's longest running poker games. You know the stories at that table are legendary, and no doubt, so are the bottles.
Pay attention. Here we
This
go.
is not a strip club, Jonah.
Well, you never do know, my friend.
Where are we at?
I'm driving that.
Wine's this way. Wine's this way.
Lambo's this way.
It's definitely gonna be the DeLorean, right? Like we got.
Great Scott!
And I want to hear what you're getting from one of them, or maybe the next one,
Yeah.
before Ian chimes in.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then I'll be like, wrong. I'm just kidding.
Please do. I'm totally kidding.
Very much female, has a little more curves to her, a little bit, wears a little bit more makeup, is a little bit more zaftig, I guess. And so,
What was the word? Taylor her Zaftig?
zaftig.
Oh, you heard Sauce Gonna grab
No, I thought she said it's a little soft dick.
Even better.
Put
That is not this show.
Taylor, put the headphones on.